This is a redo. I got to restart over because when I was trying to make this lesson a minute ago, I had really bad connection. I'm driving to camp, so part of the path that I take doesn't have good cell service coming out of country land. So giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which rule well. All right, peace and much love. So I can just bear with me. Peace and much love, honors and blessings, salutations to the elect of Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai. We're told the conduct, composure, and integrity. All right, again, and they walked no more with them. And this is through the inspiration of John, the 6th chapter, and the 66th verse. All right, it says, John 6 and 66, which if you notice the numbers too, all right, 666 means to transcend and grow. All right. So, but it says from that time, many of his disciples went back and walked no more with them. Which, what does the word disciple go into, man? Or the term or the name of disciple goes into being disciplined. So people that have ordered their steps aright and are disciplining themselves in this time. All right. Now the reason why I'm making this lesson is from time to time we revisit certain topics. And I felt it, through the Spirit to make this lesson, man, that, to the believers in this truth, those that are just starting, those that have been in this, we remind ourselves that we're not in this faith, man, to watch our worldly works flourish. All right, we're not here to save whatever the Lord might have designed to destroy. Even what is that? I want to say like 2nd Esdras 7, I think, where it says, "And be not curious in how the ungodly shall be destroyed, but rather inquire how the righteous shall be saved." In this time, I always say that, man. I always say in this time, because this time is where it matters the most. But in this ministry, man, you got to understand that it's not meant for everybody to continue. All right? The scriptures say that the laborers many are called, but few are chosen. It also tells you in 2nd Esdras, the 8th chapter, that the world that is created now is made for many, but the world to come is for few. And that is the few, all right, are the elect. The 144,000, 1/3. Okay? And really, the 1/3 is like the ones that the Lord had, which were the friends of the prophets, certain of, the women that, the men of the Lord wanted to have saved in this time, the children, your family, certain of your family members, okay? The 1/3 outside of the 144,000, which they're both consisted of the 1/3. The fuck are y'all look? What is Esau's problem, man? Go fuck yourself, man. But that 1/3 consists of men, women, and children outside of the 144,000. All right? But those are the ones that follow us, follow the prophets, the men of the Lord in this time. Or the ones that, again, that Jake has set their eyes on, that they may want saved for the kingdom. But the thing you got to understand, like I read in John 6:66, it says, "And from that time, many of his disciples went back and walked no more with them." At certain times in this truth, people that you deal with, whether it be your family or a loved one or a rib, or your children, sometimes the Lord, man, sets a situation that will not allow them to make it past it. They won't continue with them. You've seen individuals that have come into this faith. I'm hitting both aspects. I'm talking about the ones that didn't continue. You've had men in this truth, man, or not in this truth, because really they're really not part of the truth. You've had men that came into this thing and they didn't continue. Well, that same thing applies to your personal life and the ones that you deal with on the outside, man. Okay, Jake, man, may deal with a woman, and it's not set up for her to continue with them to the end of to the destruction. And this is the thing, man. You got to understand The Lord don't need to save someone that's not doing the work. And women are number one, man. The Lord doesn't need to save a woman who ain't doing shit. Because really, it falls onto you. All right? See, these people, the 1/3, or the ones that you may desire in this time, man, they're being saved by your works. And you go into the book of Ezekiel, and it talked about the faith of Noah, and how by Noah's faith his family was saved. Noah's family didn't do anything. Noah's women, or Noah's wife, you know, the 3 wives of his sons, they didn't do anything, you know. It was by his faith that they were saved, all right? See, you go into 2 Timothy and it tells you that by childbearing, the women are going to be saved. And this time, man, a man, if he desire a woman to be saved, he's got to carry her fucking weight. So it's like you fighting for multiple, you fighting multiple people's battles, all right? But there are wrenches that the Lord will throw to these people that if they're not set up to continue, man, they're not going to continue, you know? So from time to time, man, Jake is going to have these things happen to him. And, you know, you shouldn't marvel. You shouldn't be astonished. You know, you shouldn't, Salaki, you shouldn't, you know, be thrown off by it. Because you got to understand, you know, we're here to suffer. We're here, again, the capacity, the capacity to accept or tolerate delay with trouble. That goes into adversity, which is a misfortune. A lot of times, you know, you think you're going to get, you know, you expect that because you might be working a little bit in this truth, or you think that you've been a good steward, so you just expect something good to happen. Well, the Lord ain't always got to do something good for you either, or good, you know, good. I'll say good because, you know, really anything that you get committed to you in this time ain't really good. It's really a curse because it's bitter, because you got to realize that the Lord may take it away. All right, but if the Lord takes something away, which I'm going to continue to talk more about this, if the Lord decided to take something away out of your life, you know, there's a reason why there's pain behind it, man. You know, there's a beautiful quote from the movie Wind River. I can't remember the guy's name. He plays as Hawkeye in the Avengers, and then the girl that played Scarlet, you know, she loved what's his name, Vision, the girl, the Russian girl. She plays in this movie too. She plays as an FBI agent, and he's a hunter. Anyways, this girl ends up getting raped and murdered in this movie, and the father is going to kill himself at the end of the movie because his wife killed herself. So he's like, I basically have nothing left. Which that's how Jake sometimes feels when they get something taken away from them. I felt like that, man. You know, I made a video about a woman that I dealt with, man, in this time that, you know, she was taken away from me, man. And I told the Lord, I'm gonna reveal a secret, man. I told the Lord that if he allowed this woman to move with me, I promised him I would do the work for him. I promised I would be focused. That right there revealed that I had an attachment, and it also revealed that I was gonna get my heart's desire. We're not here to get our heart's desire. All right, we're here to suffer. We're here to suffer, man, and that is based with trouble and misfortune. Okay? Let me read this precept. 1 Corinthians 15 and 22, Shalom. It says, for as, Salaki, 1 Corinthians 15 and 22. Why is it not doing all the way down? Anyways, 1 Corinthians 15 and 22 says, for as in Adam all die, even so in Hamashiach shall all be made alive. Hey, so in Hamashiach shall all be made alive. Sometime with Jake, man, when they fall, so to speak, when they allow their attachment to beat them up, you know, they feel like they're done. You know, the sacrifice lets you know. First of all, the Lord taking it from you lets you know that He's dealing with you, because the Lord could allow you to dwindle in that desire. He don't have to show you that, hey, this is actually a distraction, man. This is a problem. Wake up, catch up. That's what it's about too, man. Catching it, catching our mistakes. And hey, man, I'm not proficient with that, man. I haven't mastered that, man. There's a lot of shit that, you know, I still fall victim to, man. Because we want to, Jake, you know, the flesh wants to do what the flesh wants to do, man. We want to be comforted in this time. We go through a lot of hell. You know, we go through a lot of uncomfortability, man, and all we seek is comfort. You know, but that's why the Spirit works, you know. But, you know, like it says, through Adam we all died. Because what was Adam from the beginning? Before he got the Spirit of life, the breath, all right, which was what? Ultimately, it's the Holy Spirit, you know. Before he was given that understanding and that illumination to serve Yahweh B'Shem Shai, man, he was, you know, he was according to the flesh as well. All right. But, you know, the scriptures do identify Adam as a son of power. All right. So he had the understanding. He was made alive. What did it say with Enoch? That he walked with the Most High? Did he physically walk with Yahweh or Yahweh Shai? No. It's talking about that his way was committed to the Lord. All right. And that goes back to actually the precept that poured out in John 6:66. The symbolism of eating my flesh and drinking my blood, that goes back to 2 Ezra 8:4, where it said, "Oh soul, swallow down understanding and devour wisdom." Ultimately receiving the knowledge and information that was given by Yahweh Shai to us, receiving the whole understanding. All right, which really Yahweh Shai is the way of understanding, or he's the way. Like it says, I am the way and the life. All right. 1 Corinthians 15:23, but every man in his own order. Hamashiach, the first fruits, and we're first fruits. You got to remember that, man. I like to always bring that out. When you go back to when it said in the beginning, when you look up that word in the beginning, it goes in the chief times, in the very beginning of these important times, man. You were there. All right, the elect were the first fruits, and in the chief times, and that was originally where we were the most glorious. See, what we're fighting for in this time is to get back to our former glory. The prayer with Yahweh Shai for the elect in John 17. He said, you know, how did he say it in John 17:5? Let me get my sword. Actually, you know what? I'll just type it right here, man. Hold on. That was John 17, and hold on. This is John 17:5. It says, "And now, O Father, glorify thou me with thine own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was." But if you continue on down, all right, even Yahweh Shai prayed that we would get our glory back too, which was originally being in that immortal state, that righteous state, being as gods. All right, you know, we're trying to get back to that because we've lost it in this time. All right, we've been lost it since the beginning, and that's what this mission is all about: getting back to that glorious estate. See, they don't really know what they really want in this time. Look how susceptible you are to attacks. You know, look how easy you can almost cop out over adversity. We used to be unstoppable, and that's what the Lord is trying to get you back to. If you endure, if you continue, okay. Which continuance goes into correction. Okay, you adjust to you know, basically get back to the right path. All right. But it says Hamashiach, the first fruits, afterward they that are Hamashiachs at his coming. So us too. All right. You said physically, emotional attachments, binding. Yeah. Well, Mark, the 4th chapter, you know, it talked about, you know, how did it say it? You know, the seed that fell into stony ground. Hold on, let me get it. Hold on. I think it's like Mark 4:14. Hold on, I'm driving. Like I said, I'm driving to camp today. Here it is, Mark 4:18. It says, "And these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lust of other things, entering in, choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful." Yeah, man, you get sidewinded by, you know, like I said, sometimes, you know, there are guys that come into this thing, man, and they you know, something gets thrown their way that's too hard, and they can't endure it. You know, they get choked up. Now, it's not to say that you can't bounce back from that. It's a lot. But we're, like I said, we're supposed to be able to catch these things. All right? And if you have a, got it, motherfucker. Disgusting. I don't know how that fly got out of here, but if you can catch these things, that's why we're supposed to have foresight. All right? Be able to see at long distances. If you can catch it, that's, more power to you. The water you have about Shemal Shai. But this is really more a lesson to fixate on the fact that, not everything in your life is going to be there with you, man. I remember, coming out of high school, I had certain, quote unquote friends that I never wanted to, lose. Now, today, especially, I don't have one single person that I know from my high school days, middle school days. There's not one single person that I've seen since I left high school. Hey, 144. I didn't pray back then. You get what I'm saying? The thing that can be committed to you to the very end is this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right? But, pursuant to your loved ones, a woman, a best friend, if the Lord don't want it to follow you, it's not gonna follow you. Something's gonna happen to where the Lord's really gonna change that spirit on them to do and go where they want to go. But you can't get bent out of shape over it. You can't get offended by it. You can't lose sight. You can't. The scriptures say, "Go not after thy lust." We're here to deny our lust. All right? But the scriptures say, "Go not after thy lust." If you find yourself fixating on the problem, and you find that you're giving more attention to it, then you need to reevaluate. Because you need to understand that it may not meant to be with you. I've said it many times, man. I've made videos talking about that there have been people in this time, man, that I wanted. I wanted to stay with me. It ain't happened. Pain and suffering, played its part. But you should be able to, bounce back, if the Lord will. So just always remembering, man, that we gotta, now I feel like I'm just talking common, but you gotta remember to catch yourself, reevaluate, readjust. Really, you gotta fuck, like the brothers say, fuck the fire, man. You gotta get that flame, let it burn, but you gotta fuck it back and keep on moving. Yeah, it's only you at the end. One man walked through the straight gate. Yeah, let me get this, man. I'm only gonna be able to find it in my sword. I can't recall an exact book and precept. Hold on. This is gonna be Ezekiel. I don't advise brothers to always be making videos while driving, because you already know. But I got this. Man, I can't find it. Anyways, it talks about Noah and his righteousness. I might have to look it up in the let me see it. It might say Noe, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, it says Noah. Here it is, Ezekiel 14:14. Hey, that's the spirit, man. It says, Ezekiel 14:14 says, though these three men, Noah, Daniel, and Job, were in it, they should deliver but their own souls by their righteousness, saith the Lord Yahweh. All right, by their own righteousness, man. But when you continue to read on, which I'm going to read, it'll tell you that their sons and their daughters, their wives, they were saved. But it all comes down to you. Going back to the word soldier, being a soldier comes from the word solitary, which to be solitary means you're by yourself. All right? Doesn't the scripture say to seek out thine own salvation? It even tells you that there shall be none like-minded among you that shall naturally care for your state, but all seek their own. Because at the end of the day, man, we can only help each other. We can talk to each other. I can give you no spiritual advice to the scriptures, but you're going to be telling yourself what you want to hear, or you're going to be telling yourself what needs to be done. And that's between you and the Lord. All right? That's why the scriptures are so adamant about hearkening to wise counsel, because the counsel is going to direct your steps, not yourself. You're going to find yourself justifying a way to find your way back into whatever it is you were dealing with. All right? And really, you can't blame anybody at the end of the day for fucking up like that. That's your own fault, because you were warned. And, you know, Jake is told commonly to leave things alone. You know, and if the Lord deal with it, you'll know when the Lord is bringing something back, man. Like I was telling someone earlier, man, he'll change the entire situation or outlook of that or whatever's going on. You know, I keep saying situation, but I am directing towards people. You know, people, but also your daily affairs. But if the situation comes back and you're still dealing with the same issues, well, then you need to take a step back. You need to cut your ties. You need to mortify whatever it is that you're dealing with, you know, physically, you know, or you're having to maneuver with, whatever it may be. You got to have a cutoff point, and then let the Lord deal. All right? Because the Lord is going to save. If the Lord has it that way, the Lord will save what you desire. But you got to put the work in, all right? Ezekiel 14 again. Though these three men, Salaka for the shaking, man. Though these three men, Noah, Daniel, and Job were in it, they should deliver but their own souls by their righteousness, saith the Lord of power. If I cause noisome beasts to pass through the land, and they spoil it, so that it be because of the beasts, though these three men were in it, as I live, saith the Lord of power, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters. They only shall be delivered, but the land shall be desolate. Or if I bring a sword upon the land and say, sword, go through the land, so that I deliver neither sons nor daughters, but they only shall be delivered themselves. Now, Salakia, because I misread it before and I've done that before, but you look at the mercy that was shown to Job and to Daniel and Noah, okay? You know, you had Noah where the Lord, he killed all the inhabitants, but he saved his wife, and he saved his sons, and he saved his sons' 3 wives. All right? You had it with Daniel, his life was spared. All right? And then you had Job, where the Lord actually killed off his whole family, but he brought back his substance again. That's kind of the time we're living in now. We're living in a time where like I said, we're putting in the work. We're sacrificing our life, putting our life on the line. We're giving up a lot of things. All right? We're losing things. But in this time, the Lord is going to have mercy. I have mercy on certain things that you may desire. That's why, you know, I tell Jake, man, if you ask something you want, you got to tell yourself that you're going to get it back in the kingdom. I run with that same integrity every day, man. There's a lot of things I pray for. You know, certain people I pray to have. But I tell myself, because you got to believe it, I tell myself at the end, I will have them in the kingdom. All right? Just, you know, don't let this be a reason why you stop. Don't let it be a reason why you don't continue. Don't let it be a hard saying to you that way you can't get over it. All right? Let me go back to John. All right, John 6, and hold on, let me get this point again. Salaka, just bear with me. It's John 6 and 60. Let me see. 6 and 60. It says, many therefore of his disciples, when they had heard this, said, this is a hard saying. Who can hear it? And if you only, you got to have the Spirit. That's the only way that you can hear a hard saying, or that you can deal with a hard aspect of your life. All right. Let me say this again, man. This life, you are here to suffer. You're here to lose. You're here to take all the L's that you can, man. You're here to take a beating. All right. Isaiah, the 22nd chapter, man, when it talks about how we came over here to America, it said that the Lord shall toss our people to and fro as a ball. Basically that represents the man, I can't even think of the word. Basically just the pure D captivity that we were put into. All right? But we're still in it. We're still being thrown back to and fro like a ball. Because now we're suffering. We suffer in this world, but now we're suffering from Mashiach, so we're getting like double doses. But, it's no means to quit. Yahushua said that, to him that draweth back, my soul shall have no pleasure. So this is a thing we got to commit to the very end. You got to suffer. The word possess means to obtain. And the word obtain means to possess by any means necessary. All right? So that's why it says doing all that thou can, doing all to stand. Well, you got to commit all your strength. So this is nothing new, but just understand that not everything in your life is going to be a constant to you. You're going to lose things, and things that you really have a grip to, man, may be your downfall. So you gotta look at it and be like, cut it off. And if the Lord wanted to come back, it'll come back. All right. So. Yeah, man, one thing I had to learn was to not try to control everything. You can't. You're not going to win in this side, man. You're not going to win that control. The Lord controls all the spirits. All right? And He's controlling you. Hey, I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace and much love. Hey, man, I'm headed to camp, so, I'll be here on the live again soon. But, hey, peace, honors, and blessings to the elect of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, which continue to hold the conduct, composure, and integrity. And Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, Barakatham, Kwame Shalom.